Hey guys, this is Blue
and Delta
from YuGiOh Anime Games, and today we're going to show you our new Yugi deck. Many of you guys know we already have a modern Yugi deck on our channel, but there are just so many modern cards for Yugi and Yami Yugi that we decided to, and especially with feedback from you guys, split the deck. So now we're going to be releasing two different Yugi decks. This one is more in line with the cards that Yugi played from the ceremonial battle against the Tem. It's not entirely and strictly to that deck, but takes heavy inspiration from that.
So to kick us off, we have Alpha, the Electromagnet Warrior. You're going to see all three of them appear in here. Archfiend's Advent. So you'll see that the Shining Sarcophagus focused cards that we very recently got are in here. Right? They're very based on what Yugi played in the ceremonial battle. Arisen Gaia, the Fierce Knight. You'll see a lot of cards that are still in here from our first version of this deck. Artillery Catapult Turtle. Beginning Knight. So like we said, we really wanted to be able to get a lot more of these kind of support cards in here. This lets us use a lot of these modern cards and kind of split them between who we think it fits best. Berserkion. And if you guys haven't seen the duel with our two new versions of the Yugi deck, you can check that out here. Beta, the Electromagnet Warrior. Buster Blader, the Destruction Swordsman. So Buster Blader did go to Yugi. Charging Gaia, the Fierce Knight. We have Curse of Dragon, the Cursed Dragon. And Curse of Dragon Fire. Right, so this is another great example where we were only able to use one of these in that original Yugi deck. Now, we get them both, and you'll see that we really did give this Yugi deck a lot of cool Gaia and Curse of Dragon-based fusions. Dark Magician, the Magician of Black Magic. Whoa, Yami Yugi's signature card? Yeah, this is part of the Shining Sarcophagus theme, archetype, whatever you want to call it, that we got. So while the original Dark Magician is in what we're styling as that Yami Yugi deck, we gave this Dark Magician to Yugi.
Like we said, even though the decks being split is heavily influenced by the decks in the ceremonial battle, it is not strict to that division. So yes, each character has a version of Dark Magician.
Then we have Delta, the Magnet Warrior, and Epsilon, the Magnet Warrior. Right, so it's really cool that, again, by being able to use a lot more modern cards, we now get to add these two new Magnet Warriors instead of just having the Electromagnet Warriors in here like we had in the first version. And if you're not already, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. We're big fans of anime accurate decks, modern character decks, top lists, tier lists, all this conversation based around the anime. So you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed. Gadget Trio. And then there's Gamma. We have the retrained Gandora that goes along with the Shining Sarcophagus stuff. Really powerful. And then we have more Marshmallon. Very cute retrain. And we know we can't use every effect of the card. It's still good in here, but we really try to fit in a second more Marshmallon. But there's just so many modern Yugi-based cards for us to try to get to. Silent Magician 0, and Silent Swordsman 0. No big surprise there. And Valkyrion! Without the Magnet Warriors, well, it's because we do have a way to summon Valkyrion, and we have a specific fusion card. And then Yugi's last monster, Black Luster Soldier Super Soldier. The Black Luster stuff is here in Yugi's deck.
And those of you may remember from our original take on the modern Yugi deck, we had Black Luster Soldier Legendary Swordsman, which is a really cool card, but ultimately we felt that with redoing the decks, Super Soldier fit a little bit better into the way this deck was going.
Moving on to the spells. We have Destruction Swordsman Fusion. So like with our first iteration of this deck, where possible, we really want to get to use some of these archetype-specific fusion spells. Then we have Future Silence. So this was a card we weren't able to fit in our original version. So again, great that we get to use it here. Then we have Gateway to Chaos. Again, great that we just get to use more, like BLS support and stuff.
It really is cool that they took Blackluster Soldier and really made so much out of it. And so again, splitting the decks let us really get a little bit more into that. And there's still even more cards that we haven't touched on just because of how many there are.
Then we have Magnet Induction and Magnetic Field. So we really get to take advantage of a lot more of the Magnet Warrior support here. Then, while we do some of the other fusions that are archetype specific in these decks, here is Polymerization. There's a specific fusion that we had to make sure we had Polymerization in here for, but it didn't let you make any of the fusions in the extra deck. Shining Sarcophagus. There we go. Need it to maximize a lot of the cards in here. Spell card Monster Reborn. A lot of characters played Monster Reborn. This appears in a lot of our modern decks. If you need Yu-Gi-Oh cards for a character deck or anything else, think about using our TCG player link in the description down below to help support the channel. Spiral Fusion. Super Soldier Ritual. This is how we make Blackluster Soldier Super Soldier. Ties that bind. And then the last spell is Turn Silence. These are fun decks to play too, guys. These cards really do come together to be something fierce and very active turns when you're playing. Being of Heaven and Earth. So many cool cards we really get to use. Dark Magic Mirror Force. Goes along with the Shining Sarcophagus archetype, even though in Ceremonial Battle, Mirror Force was played by a Tem. Magnet Conversion. Then we have Powerhold the Moving Battery. Spiritual Swords of Revealing Light.
This is a card you guys would recognize from Dark Side of Dimensions. Dark Side of Dimensions was really like a prototype for modern Yu-Gi-Oh! With those cards. So we definitely still pulled from those cards as well.
And then the last card in this 4-card deck is Stronghold the Hidden Fortress. So we get a couple Stronghold retrains here. Moving on to the extra deck, got a fair few cards here. We have Buster Blader the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. We really get access to some pretty good, pretty powerful fusion cards. Then we have Curse of Dragon, the Magical Knight Dragon. So like we said, we really wanted to lean into being able to make Gaia and Curse of Dragon based fusions in one of these two decks. Then we have Gaia, the Magical Knight of Dragons. So this one was in the first iteration of the deck. Then we have Imperion Magnum, the Superconductor Battlebot. Boy, some of these names are a mouthful, but yes, this is the fusion we can make with Valkyrion and Berserkion, and why Polymerization had to be in here. Master of Chaos. Because it's made with Dark Magician and anything Blackluster Soldier or Chaos, we wanted to put it here in Yugi Muto's deck, and our other Yugi deck actually features it too, because they both can make it. Why not? Then we have Sky Galloping Gaia, the Dragon Champion. A lot of great options for monsters you can fuse into from the extra deck. Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. So there's nowhere else that links will appear on our channel except these modern decks, and we think it really lets us, again, try to maximize how many cool cards we can include.
Now, just to quickly touch on this, we do know that the deck could make Dark Paladin between the Dark Magician and Buster Blader retrains, but the point of the modern deck is to really pull on a lot of these new fusions and what they have to offer. So we did not include Dark Paladin, and we are hopeful that it gets a retrain at some point. But for now, it did not make the cut.
And that's the full 40-card deck profile plus extra deck for our Yugi Muto Modern deck. Hopefully you like that.
We hope you guys liked that video.
Make sure you check out some of our other videos like top lists, tier lists, faithfully recreated anime decks, and modern character decks.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.